for Anthony Joshua, I know let's be honest, he wants to stay active. He wants to fight again now. I know after May 18th, which is still what, 2 months away, probably whoever becomes undisputed in that fight, the IBF is going to be cleared up the quickest, I think, because that's an immediate mandatory against Hrgovic. With Joshua, if that belt does become vacant, we will probably get Joshua and Hrgovic for that vacant belt. But that won't be until what we're talking. What are you talking? Maybe the summertime? Maybe?
Yeah, I think
out?
mid to late summer.
Yeah, so would Joshua want another fight in before then? Maybe in May himself, beginning of June himself? Maybe. If he does Dillian Whyte make sense?
It's always going to be a big fight. It's always going to be that big for because of the history. Because of Dillian's win over of him in the amateurs. I just personally don't think AJ will fight until, if we think what's going to happen is the Hrgovic fight whilst Fury and Usyk have their rematch. I just don't think he'll fight until then. I can see that happening mid-June, maybe.
Well, can I ask you
go
then?
on, Andy.
No, I was going to say, Eddie's mentioned it, right? And I think I've heard His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh mention it as well, in terms of that even though there is a rematch clause in that undisputed fight,
yeah,
they almost 100% are certain that the winner of that fight, right, will fight Joshua. I think if they're trying to say if Tyson Fury wins that fight, let's just say, right, I think, sorry, let me just rephrase that. I think they said that if Tyson Fury wins that fight, I don't know about Usyk, but I think that they've said if Tyson Fury, now, so I'm going to have to go back and watch these interviews again, but if Tyson Fury wins that fight against Usyk, right, it's an immediate fight with Anthony Joshua. They won't go for the rematch. I'm sure I've heard that somewhere, and I've heard Eddie Hearn say it, that His Excellency will push for that fight after if Fury does become undisputed, and they will push for that fight with Joshua, because it is probably the biggest fight in boxing right now. Do you know what I mean? Especially in the heavyweight division anyway. It's been a fight with me, you, every other boxing head has been wanting for the best part of probably even since you've been in high school, Joe. You've been wanting to see this fight. So, yeah, it's one of them fights that I think that is going to get pushed for if Tyson Fury wins. And I think that if that's the case, we'll probably see that in the autumn time. So it still leaves that space there for Joshua to have a fight. And if it isn't Hrgovic, again, I don't know why I can see the Dillian Whyte fight being made. I don't know why I see that fight still being there. Do you know what I mean? Even though the Hrgovic is there, I don't know. Listen, like I said to you, boxing is a crazy sport, Joe. We're going to be here next week, and something's going to pop up, and it's just going to throw us far in the work. So we're just waffling here on what we think would happen, but I still see that Dillian Whyte Joshua fight happening at some point. I don't know why I can still see it happening.
I can see it happening. I don't think it'll be this year. I think it was only August last year when he was meant to fight Joshua, and everything with the adverse findings come about. The heavyweight division has moved on so much more than it usually would have done. Usually the cogs are turning at a normal pace in the heavyweight division, 1 or 2 big fights a year. But because of this introduction of the Saudi mega fights and all these big heavyweight dust-ups, the cogs have turned a lot quicker. And I think Dillian Whyte, rightly or wrongly, probably does need to play a little bit of catch-up. So look good against Hammer tonight. Have a fight to launch you straight back into that mix. Make sure you assert yourself on that Saudi Arabian scene, and then you go for a Joshua, and then you go for a big mega fight. But it's all if, buts, and maybes, because they can push for the undisputed fight between AJ and Fury if Fury wins all they like. But I think there's a contract there, and if Usyk wants that rematch, which he probably will, knowing Usyk, that he loses that fight, we will want to right that wrong. So contractually, we will see, but there's so many different narratives, subplots of how this heavyweight division is going to play out. But in previous years, we could sit and watch it unfold, and then at the end of it, no fights happen. A multitude of fights will definitely happen. It's just which one we'll get.